كريم منعم بر رؤوف كبير الفضل للداعي مجيب ما لي غير باب الله باب ولا مولى
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم. فرمودن نحن ابناء الدلیل. اگر یه جایی
It is said that we follow the reason.
کبرای کلی داشتیم که نداریم.
If there is a major explanation
تو روایات داره
which we don't have,
زوال
we have narrations.
زوال
Midnight
نهار بین طلوع آفتاب و غروب آفتاب. زوال
is called zawal, and zawal during the day is between sunrise and sunset.
طلوع آفتاب و غروب آفتابه که بعضی فرمودن اما
So
غالب فرمودن
some say,
بین
as for zawal for the night,
شرعی به اعتبار اینکه
some say between sunrise and sunset.
روایات از غروب
But
حتی یذهب کرسی و هات یک روایت داره که یعنی مغرب ملاکه نه غروب. این را مرحوم صاحب جواهری که حالا یادم نیست کدوم مسئله است
the late author of Jawahir have addressed this
مختلف آورده
in
که ملاک
in details. He's brought evidence
ملاک در
to prove that
دیگه
a midnight
ملاک در صوم از فجر
is that
تا مغرب نه تا غروب.
the same criteria are used for fasting, working at midnight, and you break the fast at Maghrib time, not Ghurub time, not sunset time.
نه نصف نهار بحثی در نه خلاف نه بحثی در
Midday or the zawal between for the day time, there's no dispute about it.
در چرا ببینید نحن ابناء الدلیل در باب صوم اینجور دلیل داریم این که من عرض میکنم صاحب جواهر تقریب فرموده از قرائن مختلف که مثل صومه.
As I said, the author of Jawahir, he says the criteria are like fasting, criteria for fasting.
بقول شیخ انصاری رضوان الله علیه با اینکه جمع جلالی داره روایات
Sheikh Ansari also says
جمع جلالی داره جمع جلالی داره تعارض اصلا نیست اما به قول شیخ چون تقیه شدید بوده و واضح بوده زود کشف می شده لحاظا جمع جلالی
it says because Taqiyya was severe,
خود ما خالف القوم عامه میگن غروب خاصه میگن مغرب
because Taqiyya was severe, they couldn't be explicit. So the criteria for that, so the criteria is Maghrib and Fajr, except if there is explicit evidence for it. So the sunrise and sunset. So other than even when it says sunset, if working at the criteria will be Maghrib. So there is a specific instruction to say that the criteria cannot be used for sunset. It's for Maghrib. The word duluk in Waqim Salat al-Duluk al-Shams. Duluk means between sunrise and sunset. What's the meaning of duluk? No, it's not. That's not the explanation. Duluk means halfway between sunrise and sunset. Duluk means halfway between sunrise and sunset, and there is no discussion about this. There is no ambiguity about it. And for deducting the rulings of the Sharia, we follow the instructions, we follow the evidence. Mid noon or midday means halfway between sunrise and sunset. Very rare of the scholars, they say that they cite that one narration where they talk about Zawal or the Zawal al-Layl, but most scholars don't. Because we don't have specific instruction for evidence for Baytut, which is when. So the criteria that was used, it's Maghrib and Fajr.
با اینکه قرآن کریم فرموده شطر المسجد الحرام
the Holy Quran has stated شطر المسجد الحرام. It is known amongst scholars. This is very rare. Not even 5% of the scholars would say what you're saying. The Quran says Shatr al-Masjid al-Haram, and the Shat means the Kaaba. So we have to go by the Quran and the teachings of Ahlul Bayt, the guidance of Ahlul Bayt. We have to. So they've said that the Kaaba is the Qibla, not the Masjid and not the Haram. So if you are outside the mosque, and if you draw a line which doesn't go straight to the Kaaba, this is not Qibla then. The Qibla is the Kaaba. So, or if you stand outside the Haram, the same thing. If you draw a line and doesn't hit the Kaaba, then it's not the Qibla. Yes, if you are in the outside world, like for example, when burying the dead facing the Kaaba, or when slaughtering the animal, most people can't precisely identify the Kaaba, so they have tolerated if there is a little bit difference from the precise direction of the Kaaba. So they accept a margin of error, if you like. As I said, the ayah says Shatr al-Masjid al-Haram. Shatr al-Masjid al-Haram means the Kaaba. The specific location of the Masjid, the Grand Mosque, which is the Kaaba. So, is the narration has the same authority as, for example, the Quran, ayah of the Quran? Of course it does. Not tens, we have hundreds of narrations. We have narration. Masjid al-Haram. We have narration which says the Masjid means the Kaaba. When it says Masjid al-Haram, it's meant by that the Kaaba. So Mi'raj. So we have in the Mi'raj, for example, it says من المسجد الحرام, but he performed the Mi'raj from the house of Hani. It is in the narrations that when it says Masjid al-Haram, it's meant by that the Kaaba. And we have to go back.
مناسبت حکم موضوع اقتضا میکنه بگیم توسعه درش هست. اگر نه غالب مردم وقتی میخواد میتش رو دفن کنه
So there is a margin of error or tolerance.
ذبیحه رو ذبح کنه رو به قبله، میخواد محتضر رو پاهاش رو به قبله
So
بکنه،
that's why.
میخواد وایسه نماز بخونه رو به قبله، غالبا دقتا نمیتونن پیدا کنن وقت مناسبت حکم موضوع.
So when one in the outside world wants to face the Kaaba, whether for praying or for slaughtering an animal or burying the deceased, they may not precisely identify the direction of the Kaaba, and there is the margin of error accepted for this, and is tolerated. What does that mean? That means there is a tolerance is accepted, a slight margin of error accepted. You said tayamun and going to the right or to the left. I haven't seen going to the left. It's only to the right. It's only to the left. So when performing the salah is mustahab. It's mustahab to pray towards the direction of the corners of the Kaaba, not the wall of the Kaaba. That's why for Iraq, it's mustahab to go to the left slightly. So, given all the narrations, the Kaaba is the qibla for the masjid, for the haram, and for the whole world. As I said, Shatr al-Masjid Haram, and here they said, the narration said that the masjid is the Kaaba. Yes, some have said that. Some have said that. In 100 jurists, you probably won't find 5 who would say this. Some have said, and this is my understanding as well, the thing, there are 6. They address it between fixed term marriage and permanent marriage. There are 5 or 6. Some narrations, there are different. My understanding is that it's seeking permission of the father for a virgin to marry is an obligation, but if she performs the marriage contract, the marriage contract is not invalid, but she's done something haram in that not obeying the father. So yeah, the marriage contract is not invalid, but but she has committed a haram by not seeking permission of the father.
هیچ فایده نداره. اگه دختر راضی نیست که بلا اشکال نه.
No, if the girl,
اگه دختر راضی نیست هیچ فایده نداره. نه اگه دختر راضی
if the girl doesn't give consent to the marriage, then there is no way that this is accepted. It's only if the father doesn't accept and she accepts,
اما اگر اضطراراً
then it's
دختر راضی شد قبول اشکال نداره. عقد مضطر صحیح، عقد مکره صحیح نیست. یعنی اگر دختر میبینه چاره نداره،
so
نه اینکه مکرهه، اضطراره. عرض کردم مثل اینکه 20 سال 30 سال 40 سال پول جمع کرده، خونه خریده، حالا گرفتار شده برای علاج عزیزش مجبور خونه‌شو بفروشه، با اشک جاری داره خونه‌شو بفروشه. اما این بیع باطله؟ نه، اضطراره. با اینکه وزان رفع اکراه اضطرار یکیه، رفع اکراه همون مستر الیه. فرمودن چون این منته در رفع اضطرار خلاف منت.
There's a difference between if a girl is coerced or she does so out of اضطرار, which is out of competing priorities, if you like. So if she agrees, even though it's not ideal, then it's valid contract. The aqd is valid. But if she was coerced, no, this is the contract is invalid. It's batil.
میدونم واقعا راضی نیست. میگم این که داره خونه‌ش رو به اضطرار میفروشه واقعا راضی نیست، اما به صحیح. میخوام عرض کنم فرق بین اکراه و اضطراره.
So there is an example that someone after a lot of saving and so on, they bought a house, but they are forced to sell the house in order to pay for treatment of their child. Even though they dislike selling the house, but the sale is valid. Yeah, on this issue there is a difference of opinion amongst scholars. Some, like my late brother, they have said, yes, they can call it off. This is a different debate. This is about the authority of the father towards a young girl. To what extent is it?
یعنی مصلحت این دختر صغیره نیست که به عقد این درش بیارن، اما مفسدم نداره. گفت با اینکه مصلحت نیست پدر ولایت عقدش صحیح.
So Naini, for example, has said that it's always there, even if it's not maslaha for the girl, so long as it's not causing any harm and corruption, then it's the wilaya of the father is valid.
إذا ضمن الاستثناءات الشيخ الأنصاري رضوان الله عليه هاي المسألة بالخصوص في كتاب المكاسب.
If it's amongst the exceptions, Sheikh Al-Ansari has mentioned. If it's amongst the some of the exceptions, then it's permissible. The sale contract is permissible, as Sheikh Murtada Ansari has said.
ما يخالف ما يخالف إذا هالشكل اللي تقولون يعني لا يستفاد منها ما يخالف هذا من موارد الاستثناء.
Yes, this is one of the exceptions, and it's accepted.
وأنه بعض يقولون هذا عاطل هذا بعض يقولون مو عاطل لازم يكون مسلما له عاطل الأرض عاطلة على
They need to be firmly established that this land is unused.
بله دعاء هیچ اشکال نداره هیچ اشکال نداره
Saying dua,
بچهش اسم پدر و مادر خودشو بیاره اما با خدا صحبت کنه بگه خدایا الهی یا الله اگه یا الله گفت الهی گفت خدایا گفت با خدا صحبت میکنه هر اسمی بیاره بگه خدایا پدر و مادرش با هم نزاع دارن میگه خدایا پدر و مادرمو اصلاح بده هیچ اشکال نداره یعنی باید صحبت با خدا باشه
he should be addressing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
طرف صحبت حضرت
It shouldn't be, he should be addressing anyone else.
حضرت رقیه باشه ائمه باشن پیغمبر خدا باشه نه در نماز نمیشه فقط یه استثناء داره اون
In namaz, in namaz, in salah, one should be addressing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only, like saying, oh Allah, Ya Allah, and so on. You can't even address the Imams and the Prophet. One can address Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala whether they are seeking for this world or for the hereafter. There's only one exception which is when addressing the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in namaz, which is Assalamu alayka ya Rasulullah. Other than that, all addresses should be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And in Qunut, there is no objection whether it's in Farsi or other languages. If there's no objection, if one doesn't know Arabic, they can do it in their language in Qunut. There is a different opinion. And it's mentioned in the Urwa, and apparently there is no objection to that, and it can be in any language other than Arabic. In Qunut, sallallahu ala Muhammadin wa alihi at-tahirin.
وميمك بالمنتهى يغلق فميمك مفتاح كل الوجود وميمك بالمنتهى يغلق تجليت يا خاتم المرسلين بشأو من الفضل لا يلحق فميمك